Hey everyone, I am super excited to be here today with my good friend Justin Nelson, the CEO of Sphere Rocket. And we are here today because we are getting ready for one of the most epic events that has ever been thrown. You guys may have been seeing some promotions out there of Bill 24. They've been happening all over the US with some amazing leaders, but our Build 24 that is taking place out of Orlando, technically, is actually going to be a little different. We decided to do something out of this world. And here we are with Sphere Rocket, who is just building an out of this world business and helping other people grow their business. We're going to do this at sea, Justin. We're doing this at sea
I
on the
love it.
very new Utopia of the Seas, a very highly anticipated ship that actually just did their first cruises. They just cruised for the first time, I think, only just a couple of weeks ago. So we'll be the third group going out there, but we've got top agents, top leaders, top speakers, yourself personally coming out. And we're just super excited to let people know why Sphere Rocket is participating and so that they can learn a little bit more. And just so that I can kind of, just be a testimony personally. I am a Sphere Rocket client. I have been for quite a few years now. I've met Justin through the industry. He's become a dear friend, and also just such a contributor to the industry. Even if you're not a Sphere Rocket client, the amount of value that they just pour out is priceless. So Justin, I want to give you an opportunity to just kind of again, introduce yourself, why you decided to participate, and what people can expect. And for those who aren't joining us, how they can get some value.
Absolutely. No, we've obviously participated in pretty much everything you've ever put on for the most part. And one of my team members the other day was like, "You're going to sponsor something of Veronica's again? Like, is there value there?" And I was like, "Absolutely. This is a new team member of mine that had never, met you, of course." And what's really interesting is I think a lot of people on the cruise have probably run into Sphere Rocket before. They've run into me before. And so, I'm like, well, why would you sponsor again? Well, here's why. I'm a big believer in leverage, as you talked about, increasing the quality of your life, the quality of your business, the leverage. And, when I first got into real estate when I was 15, 16 years old, it probably took me 8 years of hearing the word leverage before I ever even thought about it, right? It was the big Kinneys of the world that I got to go and, shadow and, way back. I was 16 years old, right? It was just crazy. But it was going and hearing leverage and then hearing it again and then hearing it again. It's one of those things. We don't really need new information. We need to be reminded of the information that we've already heard. And so, that's why I'm excited to be on the cruise, because I've gotten to see the attendees list, and so many of them are clients already, and so many people are just people that maybe have never heard about leverage and the way we do it. And I was just telling you, Veronica, we're doing a ton of the builds. I think almost all of them are pretty close. But what's really interesting is I have like 6 builds coming up, or 4 or 5, somewhere in there. Don't quote my numbers, but I fly into them, I speak, and then I have to leave and go to the next one, right? I leave my team to get to hang out with the audience and, answer questions. But what I love about your event, and I actually switched one of the builds I was going to, it's because it's like this one I get to come in, get to spend time with people, obviously pour in, speak a little bit about what we do and how we do it. But then I get to hang out with them, at dinner, hang out with them at the bar, hang out with them at the beach, because that's where the depth comes from, I believe, not just, hey, I spoke on stage for 10 minutes and then gave as much value as I could, right? Of course, but the real questions are the ones that are asked, at the bar, at the gym, at the beach, So that's what I'm really excited for, is being able to go deeper, even with the people like you said, even if you're not a client of mine, even if you have BAs through another company and you just want some additional help, I'm not here to sell and pitch you. Just like Veronica, when you recruit to EXP, we don't have to have more people, right? We have great incomes, we have great lives. I'm there to change it in whatever fashion someone may be at and meet them where they're at. So I'm stoked to have people trapped on board with me for 3 days, and they can't go anywhere.
Well, and I thought it was a really cool experience because people, we're in sensitive times right now, right? And people are being super mindful. So we're thinking, you go to these conferences, you pay for the hotel, you pay for your dinners, you pay for all this stuff, you got to get your airfare. And for us, it was like, what if we created an experience where people also can bring their families?
Yep.
that it's affordable, that everything's included, the food, they don't have to think about anything, the entertainment as
Mm-hmm.
well. And it's a safe environment. It's a fun environment. We have a lot of people coming even with their families, which is pretty cool. But what's really, really cool, like you said, is the bonding experience. And I think we're covering everything from mastery, enlisting presentation, the NAR settlement, AI, VAs, recruitment. We're going to have Coach Burt. We're going to have just some mega, mega, mega talent there. And of course, you being able to also provide so much value. We're having a mastermind in addition. So like people are going to be able to not only work, but play, but this is going to be like super intentional work that's going to be able to impact the rest of their year. They're able to take it and implement immediately. So yeah, it's 3 days of just what I think pure fire.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be, something that I think people are going to remember for a long time because again, you go to these conferences, it's the same thing. I've gone to so many conferences, Justin, just like you, and I'm like, where was I last week? Where was I last week? They start blending in together. This is
Yep.
going to feel different. And I'm super excited that, again, we decided to come up with this concept and that we get to do so with such an elite lineup.
Yep.
We've got GoGo, we've got Tammy Pack, we've got Janet Caldwell. We luxury listing agents, AI specialists, social media gurus, you name it. But I'll tell you one thing I'm really particularly excited about. Two things, actually, in addition to everything else I just said, is I can't wait for people to get their hands on to that Bible that you give away
Mm-hmm.
with VA descriptions,
Yep.
the job descriptions. I've been a fan of that. I use that to this day. I pull it out. It is gold, guys. And I don't know, Justin, how people can learn more about that on this, if for some reason they're not on the cruise. But for those who are on the cruise, I know that they're going to get it. But if
Mm-hmm.
anyone listening may want to, maybe how they can
Yeah.
reach out to you. But
Absolutely.
that is
Easy.
gold, guys. Just getting your hands on Sphere Rockets, VA, playbook, and job description. Justin is just like all my other coaches and all the other leaders that I know that are thought leaders. He gives so much value, even if you're not a client. So
Mm-hmm.
I am highly recommending you guys today that if you haven't checked out Sphere Rocket, that you check them out. Even if it's that you're that creeper that's like, I just want them, I want to hire them. It's
Yeah.
okay. Or you're like,
Absolutely.
I want it first before I even think about it. And I need to go and, hit my head against the wall myself before I figure out. It's okay
Mm-hmm.
too, right?
Yep.
But that is gold. And then the other thing I'm super excited about is I just had a prep call yesterday with our videography team. Blended Sense is actually going to be there. They're going to be our video team. And we're going to have a podcast set up where you're going to be able to, we're going to have some podcasts with you and some of the other agents and talk about how some people have leveraged.
Yeah.
Again, VAs, how they have found success. And especially with, again, the current market that we're in, people are looking to reduce expenses, but still have efficiencies. And Justin's team are here to help you. They are here to help you and they can teach you where your business doesn't have to take a hit because, you're making some changes to your business and you think that quality or efficiencies are going to suffer. They don't have to. Just because you're scaling with VAs. And again, two things I'm really passionate about is get your hands, if you can, on what I call the Sphere Rocket Bible. They do it well. They know what they're doing, and you can apply it to your business even if you don't have a VA. Even if you're just looking to say, what am I not doing in my business with my current staff, or all the hats that I'm wearing, and then excited that we're going to chop it up and get some really good content as well. What else do you want people to know? I mean, what else?
I was gonna say if you're not on the cruise, I'm not gonna give you the Bible. I'm just kidding. Book earlier next time. I know it just sold out. I saw that yesterday, so congrats. If you guys want a copy of the Bible even before you get on the cruise, or if you're not able to make it, you can just go to sphererocketfiles.com. That has a download for the Bible, and it also has the hour presentation that shows you how to use the Bible too. It's up to like 900 pages now, and we're about to do a rewrite that will take it to about 1,400 pages of all the positions that we keep acquiring and doing in that industry. So that's number one. Number two, I think it's going to be really interesting, Veronica. If people are here listening that are going on the cruise, I think a cruise, one of my coaches said this once when I went on a cruise, probably about a year ago with my wife. And he said this, he was like, hey, on a cruise, you have to buy Wi-Fi if you want Wi-Fi, right? And so he's like, I want you not to buy Wi-Fi and I want you to see everything that breaks. And so it's going to be really interesting to see. And, you know, if you're the brand new agent that still has to take every phone call and you're going to have the Wi-Fi to make it do, like, there's no shame in that. It's going to be really cool, though, for you to be able to watch people that can completely unplug, right? That have an assistant, that have that leverage. And, you know, and if you take it as not envy, but as a learning tool to go, man, why does that person not have to answer a phone call? Why can that person completely unplug for 3 days in the middle of the week, you know, or weekend even? I think it's just gonna be a really cool environment for you to be able to learn what kind of stepping blocks. Most people don't go from zero leverage to being able to unplug for 10 days or 3 days or 5 days. There's steps in the game to get there. And so no matter what level you're at, I think it's gonna be really cool if you kind of look around and see what people are doing to leverage and pick their brains. One of my favorite questions is not always how do you do more production? That's a great one. Obviously, production fixes a lot of issues, you know, lead generation does. But also what fixes a lot of issues is how can I just do the same amount of business and not have to work as much to do that amount of business? That's also, I think we a lot of times think everybody wants to go make $5 million a year. That's not the reality. Not everybody wants to do that. Some people want to make $100,000, $75,000 and do it working 5 hours a week, 10 hours a week. Like, everybody's got different goals. And so I think that's a really interesting concept with the cruise being offline is if you try it with no Wi-Fi, if you try it, you're going to find your gaps and holes really, really fast in the leverage department.
That is such a great suggestion. I think we need to actually put that out to in the group and the people that are coming. I'm like, I'm going to challenge those of you who are going to figure out really quickly that you are not as leveraged as you thought you were, or test it and see, and then get a survey at the end. What an amazing exercise to just go ahead and think about. I am pretty blessed that I have leverage, but I haven't been bold enough to not have Wi-Fi on it. I think I might take you up on that one just for the peace of mind and being super present. But thank you again. I'm really super grateful. You are more than just a friend in the industry to me. You are just a leader in a space, and I've seen your journey. I love, and again, the people that you've mentioned, like Ben Kinney, and I know John Chet Black, you tell the story about how you started off and where you're at the last decade, what you've been able to build is just so mind-blowing. And I'm super excited for you, and congratulations on the wedding. You're newlywed, you're in love, you're building an empire now with your beautiful, lovely wife.
And she'll be there. So if you want to hear all the downsides of leverage as well, or the upsides of leverage, and I think it's really interesting, right? Leverage isn't only business. Leverage is personal life too. So I think that'll be really interesting. I'm going to get her involved in the mastermind. I know that we're doing kind of outside of the time on the cruise to kind of hear her perspective. I think it's really unique
That's awesome.
From that side too.
Well, we're super excited, guys. Thank you again for everybody who joined us and who's going to be a part of it. We've got people from all over the U.S. coming to be a part of this. Don't miss out on the next one, because we probably will do this again next year. And we all hope that every single one of you guys goes to Sphere Rocket, sphererocket.com, you said, slash...
Sphere Rocket Files. It's all one word.
Sphere Rocket Files. There you go, guys. Sphere Rocket File. That's our gift to you. You guys take that, open it up, and your mind is going to be blown. Thank you again, Justin. I really appreciate you, and I'll see you in a couple days.
We'll see you.
All right.
Bye.